I'm Daniel, and welcome to the Emunah Project. We here at the Emunah Project are continuing in our series of videos with respect to information, education, inspiration, guidance, advice, and I've been recently presented by some of my acquaintances, by some of my friends, and in my own life, grappling with the commandment of Kibbud av ve'em, honoring your father and your mother. It is interesting that the Torah does not say love your father and your mother. It does not say obey your father and your mother. It says to honor them. So the question, of course, is to what extent? To what degree of covet, of honor, respect that you have to accord to a parent. And I'm talking in this instance specifically of an elderly parent who, due to advanced age or illness, has a serious mental capacity. There's a diminished mental capacity to the point where there's a serious issue with respect to extreme hardship for the children, financially, psychologically, emotionally, as sons and daughters, husband and wives. How much does one have to sacrifice for a parent? And it will come as no surprise to you that there are a variety of responses. Sometimes a parent will become abusive. Sometimes, chas v'sholom, a parent will become violent. How far does one have to go? How far? How much can a person take? It was Rav Yitzhak Zilberstein who posed the question to several scholars and poskim, some great halachic arbiters, determiners of Jewish law of his generation. And the answer he generally received was, a son or daughter must do for their parents to the same extent, to the same degree that the parents will do for them. In other words, a parent sacrifices for his children, children should sacrifice for the parents. Gratitude, appreciation, we owe them. We owe the parents because they've done for us. It was Harav Eliyashiv who said, no, a child has a greater, a child's obligation goes beyond what a parent does for a child. There's no comparison. And he cites the Rambam, Rabbi Moses Maimonides, Rabbi Moses Maimon, who said that as much as the child can physically endure, you go to as far as you can physically endure. Physically, I presume means financially as well. What about emotionally? What about the point where the caring for the parent or the parents is taking a toll not only financially and in terms of a person's physical ability, but it's taking a psychological and emotional toll as well? How far, how much can a person take? There's no doubt that taking care of an elderly and mentally diminished parent can be an overwhelming burden. So the response to how much can I take is an individual one. People react differently to this burden, and they must acknowledge and realize when they are acting appropriately. And in the Talmud, in Tractate Kiddishin, Chazal, our sages, give an example. This is a son who's providing food for his father, and he gets all sorts of gourmet food, delicacies, the top of the top food for his father. And he puts the food in front of his father. The father, who realizes these delicacies, these foodstuffs, this is gourmet level stuff, and he asks the son, how can you afford to bring me all this wonderful, fantastic food? How do you do it? How do you can afford it? The child's response, what do you care? What does it matter to you? It's not like you're paying for it. Just eat it. That child loses out on any points, for lack of a better word, that he gets for that mitzvah of Kibbud because of his bitter response. He's doing the mitzvah, he's doing the commandment of honoring the father by providing him with excellent, more than excellent food. But that obligation is met with a certain degree of bitterness. And so we have this paradoxical attitude within a human being. On the one hand, he's seeking to provide for his father with the best of the best. On the other hand, the manner in which he offers the food to the father, it bespeaks of a certain disdain, maybe even, God forbid, cruelty. Possibly the son has spent more than he could have, more than he should have. And it's starting to have an adverse effect on him and on the relationship. He's got to come to terms with this. He's got to come to terms with the cost of the food. And he begins to resent, chas v'shalom, God forbid, he begins to resent the father for placing him in such a position. Such combinations of obligation and resentments, love, hate, joy, bitterness, they can coexist to a certain degree. When the situation becomes overwhelming, I am not going to pretend to have the answer here. When, God forbid, you're in this position, especially people of my vintage, people who are in their mid-60s and they have parents in their 80s and 90s. When you're reaching that point, don't wait for you to get to that point. When you're reaching that point, consult your local Orthodox rabbi, get some help, get some advice. Don't wait until you crack. Don't be like that child in Masechta Kiddushin, the Tractate Kiddishin, who does all he can to bring wonderful things for his father, but when asked, his bitterness shows. The mask falls a little bit, and he reveals that, he may be physically going through the moves of honoring the father, but the strain is starting to show. We also have to remember what goes around comes around. The way our children see us treating our parents may very well be the way they treat us. They may not do what we say, but they sure are watching what we're doing. And what goes around comes around. And sometimes you may pay for the disrespect you have for your parents by having that disrespect visited on yourself, chas v'shalom. We're going to be doing more videos along these lines. Please come back. Please watch. Please learn. I hope you're getting something from these videos. I hope they're of some inspiration. And until next time, on behalf of the Emunah Project, I'm Daniel, and thank you too much.